Hello everyone, I'm Papagan, and I'm Papagan, and welcome to another episode of There's a Place, the show that we talk about the mind, we talk about places, we talk about just things that make us feel. Tonight I'd like to start off the show. Today is the 21st anniversary of the OJ Simpson white Bronco speed chase. If for those of you old enough to remember, I'm wearing now, you can see here, this is my OJ Simpson t-shirt I have. It says "Don't squeeze the juice." It's like a pro OJ shirt, and this is a shirt I only wear on like anniversaries and stuff like this because it gets too many compliments when I wear it. It's if people are like, "Oh, OJ, yeah, I remember this, I remember that." But the reason I have it was a gift, but the reason I have it is because I'm like obsessed with the OJ Simpson trial and just what a phenomenon it was. To give you a little background, I was 6 years old, 6, 7 when all this was happening, and I went to day camp in Brentwood where the murder went down, and it was just such a big media story. And I was like living in the neighborhood, so like I knew the stuff they were talking about, but I didn't really understand what the case was about and why all the adults were going crazy. And so ever since I was a kid, I've just been really interested in it. There's a tour that I give, an OJ Simpson tour of Brentwood, where we go to all the sites, we go to his house and whatever, and I have all these like personal connections with the case. Like the day of the police chase, we were at camp, it was a summer day camp, and we were outside playing, and so when the chase started happening, word got out that OJ was heading back to Brentwood. So the counselors, this was very prudent, they brought all of the students in, all the campers in. They were like, come inside, because it's dangerous, OJ's on the loose. And we just turned on the TV and everyone watched, all the children, all the parents who were arriving, we just watched this police chase happen. It was this huge moment in history. And really it was just a police chase though, and it was a murder and 2 people died, and it's a tragedy. But the way it was such a big deal has left this mark on my life of just being obsessed with it, not being able to get out of my mind, wanting to know the details, the cop story and the lawyers and stuff like that. And the lesson in all of this is the actions we take have, especially if you're a celebrity or something, have this ripple effect that go out and can affect things like you wouldn't even imagine. So really be careful what you do, because you never know how it'll be remembered and how much it'll still affect things and how people dress and what they talk about and how they live their life. So think for the future. That's the lesson for this week. But moving on, my guest tonight is a good friend of mine. I've known him for many years. You might know him as the singer, and the guitar player. He plays one of the guitars in Joyce Manor. But he's really just an interesting guy, great guy to talk to, very upbeat. And I'm very happy to introduce him tonight, Barry Johnson. What's up, Barry? How you doing? Yeah. This is, some weeks, I like try to book like a guest like I've never interviewed them before. They would be interesting. But then sometimes it's just like, I'll get one of my friends to come on. Yeah. Like just it'll be like a nice, easy, relaxing show. So this is, this was one of those. So I'm excited. Matt's been on the show a couple times. Yeah, he was on.
Yeah.
Oh, the mics.
Mic's on.
Yeah, cool.
So Matt's done this a few times?
Yeah, he was on the first practice show and then he was on it again.
Nice.
Yeah. It's fun. It's Jeff Insor's been on it too. Get all the homies.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen you in a few weeks. You were in Australia, which, as we were talking about at the restaurant, is not the best place.
I like it. I actually like the people a great deal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did you like the people?
Yeah, but people are great everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Australians are especially friendly and warm and fun to party with and all that.
Well, you were though on a tour, so aren't you only encountering?
Yeah, you're only encountering people who are excited to meet you. It's definitely a warped perception of what a place is like.
Yeah, you don't have to like go to the DMV
Right, exactly.
while you're on tour. You don't have to just like shop at a Walmart and get bad customer service, or you don't have like a neighbor like, who's really loud or something.
No.
You know, but it's fun.
It is. I like it a lot, yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it?
About Australia?
Yeah.
Everybody's pretty tall. I noticed there. the women are all like very good looking and tall, like really tall. And the men are just like rugged and hairy and just like out of a romance novel or something. And it's just this like, you know, beautiful place where everything's too expensive and everyone's too beautiful to deal with. And yeah, I really like it.
It's kind of like this bizarre world where nothing is real.
Nothing's real.
But it's all real.
Yeah.
They had very little, like I said it somewhere, but you know, things like it's called like a hyper reality, things like Disneyland, where it's just like a fake thing that's it's like a better version of something that's real. I didn't find too many of those in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see their take on just like bad American things.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit more, like some of the worst of the stuff.
Definitely. How do you feel about their humor, like Australian TV?
Oh, I found very little of it. Was it Flight of the Conchords? That's from New Zealand.
That's New Zealand.
New Zealand's better. Have you been there?
No, have you?
No, we gotta go there.
We gotta go there.
We gotta go to
I've
New
heard
Zealand.
that the Kiwis, as they're affectionately called, or maybe not, maybe that's derogatory.
I bet
but
it is.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a
Apparently,
Kiwi.
they're like the loveliest people of all.
And a lot of things that we think are Australian, like the singer of AC/DC who died, he was from New Zealand.
Oh, was he?
And
Bon Scott?
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe Nicole Kidman, some other.
There's a statue of Bon Scott in Perth.
Yeah, I went to it. And the grave. Did you go to both?
No. Apparently the statue's very small, and there's always like the bulge in his pants is very big, and there's always lipstick on it because like people go to the shrine and kiss it.
I wish I would have known
Kissed
to
it.
look for that. Yeah, I wish I would have. Poke it up. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, where are we?
This looks like it's at a park, and this is the a baseball diamond.
Yeah.
And this is that back part.
The dug? No, that's not the dugout.
That's
the
the backstop. Backstop, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about sports. I gotta learn about sports.
I don't know anything about sports, man.
Some people know a lot about it.
What team does LeBron James play for?
Yeah, I could be on like one of these like fifth grader shows where they make people stupid. I think LeBron James is on the Cavaliers.
I think you might be right. Did they lose yesterday?
Yeah, the Washington.
that's
No,
it,
the
that's the
Washington.
team.
The Golden State Warriors won.
Yes.
Who are from San
And
Jose.
the guy who shoots all the free throws has beautiful eyes, and he chews on his mouth guard when he does all the shots. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Takes his mouth guard out of his mouth and chews on the edge of it and just shoots. Every time he like, and he's apparently the best. Like I've taken these free throws, and I'm sure to everyone else, everyone's like, oh yeah, everyone knows that. I don't even know this guy's name, but a lady at the bar where I was watching the end of the game commented that, why does he do that? And they're like, oh, that's like his signature thing. Thought that was really strange.
He gets into a zone.
Yeah, maybe it's kind of like it sets up certain motor skills. Like I know a lot of people have like certain things where they kind of bordering on OCD or with like
Yeah,
tap
but they're like
twice.
superstitious.
Yeah, exactly.
I like a good superstition.
I love it. Yeah, I don't have anything like that. I
Yeah.
hate when I've noticed some bands do that kind of stuff where like before they go out on stage they like all huddle and like do like a thing. They say like they have like a routine, or what would be a better word for that?
Like a ritual.
Ritual
Kind of
is better, yeah. Because routine sounds mundane. Ritual sounds like we're getting pumped up. And I think that's kind of lame. I could never be like,
maybe
all
it
right,
helps.
guys.
What if you started doing that?
And then a band gets amazing.
Totally broke through.
Fully have
Yeah,
breakthrough.
like maybe the Foo Fighters do that, and that's their secret.
That's their secret. I'll try it.
You guys should do, next time I go on tour with you guys, we're going to do improv games in the van.
That would be good.
Those are good
Team
because,
building exercise.
yeah, because there's no winners or losers, and they work on establishing group mind,
Yeah.
which you already have if you get along with people and you work with them. But if you're trying to like
Strengthen that.
work with people for the first time,
Yeah.
it's a good, but they're good to strengthen too.
Yeah.
There's one called Hotspot, where you just circle up, somebody goes in and does a song, starts just singing a song based on the suggestion, and then if somebody hears a word or think of another song, they tag out, and then they start singing the song, and everyone has to support with the singing.
Okay.
And there's
Same
one
song, or are you changing
a different
songs?
song, yeah.
Oh, right. Nice.
And there's one you have to think of different categories. The ones like that are good
Yeah.
because they get your mind just working.
I need to get my mind working more. I noticed that my mind is turning to garbage. I'm always blown away when people can remember anything. When people remember like when you were talking about the OJ Simpson trial stuff and where you were when you were a kid and stuff. I was like, I can never recall any of that stuff. I would just wonder how many hilarious things that I've witnessed are just
That you don't remember?
they're just gone. They're just gone. I know, because I remember laughing so much as a kid, like so many just insane circumstances that I just cannot access.
But no, they're in there somewhere though, because
I know.
sometimes something will remind you.
Yeah.
They're not repressed, so they're just lost, but they're in there somewhere.
I know.
But you'll never know what you don't remember.
I know. It's crazy that they are in there because every now and then I'll just be like drunk at a bar and start telling a story about something I haven't thought of in like 12 years. And I'll be like, oh my God, I totally remember this one time. But yeah, hopefully in the future they'll just have a drug where friggin' all of it is accessible again, just like tidies everything.
Why do we need that?
Oh,
Does it
maybe-
everything?
maybe there's like
Aren't
an
you getting-
improv exercise.
Aren't you getting along fine though without having remember everything?
But I just know there's because I can kind of remember like stuff that is just like that's the funniest thing that's ever happened in my life, and I just know that there's a few really great moments that I can't get to. It's okay. Just have to go make new ones.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, I gotta say, I gotta hand it to you. Joyce Manor is, if you do, like, by the numbers, for me, like, pound for pound, my favorite band, like, realistically, because, like, I've never been, like, on tour with the Ramones.
Yeah.
I never, like, hung out with the Beatles, whatever. So, I gotta give you credit where credit is due.
Right.
But, all the perks are fun.
It's kind of like saying, like, you can't say, like, oh, my best friend is, like, James Dean. No matter how much you might think James Dean's great, you never hung out with him. You never spent time.
Yeah.
So the fact that you spend time with the group,
Yeah.
it's got to be your favorite.
Right. Because, like, what other...
Yeah, what's your other...
That's kind of rude, I think.
Yeah.
If you know anybody who's an artist, or if you like your kid plays sports,
Yeah, he's not your favorite athlete.
they should
Gotta
be.
Yeah, it is disrespectful if they're not. Because who are you going to root for if you're not your friends? Or family?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't really like that. Or that's not really my thing. Okay, well, that stuff is really good. That's the best. Like, just come on, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just gotta. Now, if I didn't know any other rock groups, it's what's called a conflict of interest, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think is more. But you can have abstractly something, and then something that sometimes you just gotta go. Just like letter of the law.
Yeah, definitely.
About it.
I always found out about sports teams. I always thought, like, you should have to root for the team that's representing where you live and where you're from.
I guess because it's the only thing to attach a personal.
Do you think that those people should have to be from that place? The people who play from there have to have attended high school there.
That
Maybe
would
college.
be.
High school.
But then you wouldn't get the absolute best athletes, and then the money.
But
There's so much money in
You're
it.
just cheering for money. You're just cheering for who has the most money and can buy the best things. But that's what's weird is because I was talking to a friend of mine about basketball, and he was saying that the Lakers bought the best team, but the team doesn't play well together. They don't have the chemistry. It's like buying a bunch of studio musicians and putting them together.
But the Lakers win all the time.
I know, because they have that money.
It's all about, that's the thing about sports. Is, you know, everything's about money in some way or another. But there's no like emotional attachment to it. There's no story. It's just like maybe this guy will win, maybe these guys will win. I don't know.
Right.
These guys won a lot before. These guys haven't won in a long time. It's not even the same guys. It's the name.
Same guys, not even the same coach. It's just really I don't understand the appeal. I was watching it. I watched it last night. You know, I went to go. There's this restaurant bar by my house that I like, and I ordered food from there. And I went to go pick it up, and it was just like they were packed. I was in there for half an hour, so I happened to catch the end of the the final game. I caught the end of it. Not for me. Not exciting. I thought it was interesting. The guy chews on his mouth guard. It's like it's a really weird thing to do. It looks like, you know, I once saw like an autistic kid in the arcade sitting on the floor chewing a hole in his shirt when I was a kid, and it kind of was like something like that. Like it just looked kind of strangely, I don't know, it's like an oral fixation or something.
Wow, a autistic kid in the arcade.
Yeah. He was just sitting on the floor with like one shoe off or something, and the Mulligans, like employees, were kind of like around him, like just kind of like trying to figure out where his parents were and stuff, and he was chewing a hole through his shirt.
See, you do remember stuff.
I just remember that. I haven't thought of that in years.
You're very. This is there's a place. This is the hyperlocal talk show.
Yeah.
You know, we're all about like locations, and hyperlocalism is basically just something that is so familiar. It's like nostalgia in a kind of like an aggressive, in-your-face way, where it's just like you just remember it, or it's like just so familiar. You're just, but it stands out. Yeah. Like a park like this, for example, or the show My Brother and Me.
Which?
Like, it's just on so much. Do you remember? We watched it at my house that time.
I loved it. I still love it.
Yeah.
There's something really. I've always loved it. I always found it kind of like relaxing. There's so few characters. You know what I mean? And there's just like, it's a really good show. And there's so few episodes. Like,
13.
You know, you'd be like, oh yeah, this episode, cool.
I would have liked to have seen more.
Yeah.
I've watched them all recently, and I'm watching them leading up to the comic book store. You gotta come if you remember the show.
Of course.
We're gonna show all the episodes. Just sitting there and watch them. But it was so. I didn't pick up on this stuff when I was a kid, but it was so positive. For like, it's like race positive.
Yeah.
There's all the fraternity stuff in the living room, and they had like Morehouse College and like how are like these historically black colleges represented.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I wasn't like, oh, this is a black family, whatever. It was just like, oh, these are just kids.
Yeah.
But there is something really bad about it.
Yeah.
It's almost like Canadian.
Yeah.
But that show is so hyper-local, the way, like, the Charlotte Hornets stuff everywhere, and then we're all changing clothes.
Yeah.
It just beats you over the head with these, like, subtleties.
Do you remember even as a kid realizing how bad the acting was, too?
My mom pointed it out.
She's like,
My mom remembers the show really well, because, like, I'd be watching it on the TV, and she'd have to watch it, too.
Right.
She was just like, these kids are really bad at acting.
Like, exceptionally bad.
Maybe about a year into watching the show.
Yeah. How long was it on? Couldn't have been.
It was only on for 30 episodes, but they reran it for 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it down to like the, poor grammar and the title is fun. Now it's fun. Lackadaisical.
The opening was exactly the same as Clarissa.
Oh my God, it was.
the dad.
Which had a better song?
Well,
it's the same.
The Clarissa one was better because
the Clarissa one was a little.
Their shapes.
Yeah. Just do it.
Yeah. It had words.
That was really good.
Words and music is always better than just music.
Kind of the same show. You have like the little brother who's like, well, that's kind of like.
Well, then every show is the same, yeah. Yeah. That kid, Dee, he was cute. He was a cute kid.
Oh yeah, definitely. Button-nosed.
Yeah, his hair. He got his head, the name shaved in his head.
Cool Dr. Money.
Yeah.
H, Daddy. I hate you, Daddy.
I hate you. I hate you. Yeah, I remember that line so well.
Because that's pretty crazy. Imagine telling your parents, I hate you. And then it was like, wow, this is intense.
He apologized 2 scenes later, though.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out for the best. But I used to think when I was a kid, I theorized that the reason there weren't more episodes is because they were waiting for his hair to grow back from that. But then some years later, I realized that, you know, the quality of the show kind of speaks to why there weren't more episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a hyperlocal kind of thing, and your music is very hyperlocal.
Mhm.
I think with all, you know, hyperlocal is nothing new. It's been going on since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like certain things were like kind of with this aesthetic, you know, before like Hillhauser, very hyperlocal, things like that. So what knowing all this about the term hyperlocal and stuff like that, what are some of your favorite hyperlocal spots? Either in your native of the South Bay or in Long Beach. You've made your home in Long Beach
I have.
for years.
I like it.
You like Long Beach?
I like it more every year. For whatever reason. Yeah, maybe it's because I guess I don't know, I don't want to start throwing around hyperlocal because I'm not quite sure I fully understand it.
No. That bowling alley where we went to Chase's birthday.
That's
Like
in Torrance.
Yeah, that kind of place.
Oh,
That's what I'm
BB
saying.
Ball, yeah.
That's a hyperlocal. Where it's just like you
Yeah.
just always see it for decades now. You've been seeing that place your whole life.
Right.
And driving past it.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah, that bowling alley's great. Yeah, well, what about Long Beach?
Yeah, do you have what are your favorite like little things? Because
You ever been to JoJo's?
no, what is that?
Oh, man, you would love JoJo's.
Oh, it's just some crappy bar.
Oh, it's the best bar in the world. It's the greatest bar of all time.
Bars are all the same.
No, this is the best bar of all time. Okay, I heard this.
I don't know,
It's
it's
true. This bar predates Prohibition. It's really old.
Yeah, I would like this place.
It's a great bar. They roast peanuts in there and give you free peanuts, and they roast them there. They have like
Yeah.
a giant machine that's like from like World War II. And during World War II, they when food was rationed, they used it for something. They started using it for peanuts, but it was for coffee, I think, originally.
Oh.
And they started using it for, I don't know, anyway.
Okay, you're
Great
right. I
bar,
like
it's
this.
cheap. You can get a sandwich, just rye bread with a sausage, spicy special. It's like $4. It's great. It's really, really cool bar. And that's like a very Long Beach place. Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite things about Long Beach.
The Pike.
Yeah.
That sign.
I
Ugh.
hate the bike.
Yeah.
Bike's gross.
Well, we
Drummer
got-
of Social Distortion. It's his bar.
Yeah. You know a lot of those rock facts.
Oh, yeah. I think that I just like that I've been in Long Beach long enough now to where I'm a little bit of a man about town.
Okay.
When I go places, people are like, hey, how's it going, Barry? How are you? You know, and you just can't buy that. You know, you have to have been somewhere long enough to where all your little places you go into, people are like, Barry, how's it going? I'm like, how are you? We're just going to work, and see you later. Wow, I really like that.
You earn it.
You earn it. You earn it. You got to be there for long enough.
You've earned your citizenship.
And you got to not screw people over in that place to where you can't be there. You know what I mean? You have to be there and agreeable enough to where you kind of become a part of your community. And I don't do anything to benefit the community aside from just hang about.
Hey, just putting out a positive attitude,
Putting
that's
out a
something.
positive vibe.
That's something.
Yeah, it's something. So that's why I like Long Beach, and that's why I think I like it more every year, because I'm a little more ingrained in the fabric of the place, and I've watched it change, the better, the worse. Just again, it's different.
Long Beach.
Long Beach, love it.
Did you love it before you moved there?
No, it was just I had to move out of my parents' house, and my friend Stu let me crash with him. I ended up living with Stu for years. Oh boy. And
So you were brainwashed.
I was brainwashed. I just
You were
it was a
kidnapped.
Florida crash on for a little while, and then I just stuck with it.
Turned into a
Oh yeah,
lifelong
Long
love
Beach.
affair.
But I really, really like it.
You could own a business there someday, and then people will be like, "Oh yeah, Barry, that's his
spot.
That's his laundromat."
Should we pop in, see if he's there?
Yeah, that's his liquor store.
Yeah, that'd be great. And that's probably what I will do. Hyper local.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Bringing it.
Because how can you know anything about any place if you don't know about your place in a small place, you know? Sometimes you have to focus a smaller picture to see the bigger picture.
A lot of times, too, it is those little places, those little cafes or bars, whatever. But sometimes a big chain store or restaurant can become have its own unique quality. It's like, you know, like a certain Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like a certain
There's one El Pollo Loco that I started going to that was so dirty that I'll never go to any other El Pollo Loco because of that one. Now in El Pollo Loco, my mind is just like, I don't think I'll go there anymore. So yeah, one can definitely.
They should be.
do them all.
That's why I like McDonald's, because they change the way they look
On
and
the
all the different
inside.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
shaped like different things.
I was reading about them today. They're not doing so hot.
They're going out of
changing
business.
it up too much.
What are they doing?
They're like introducing kale,
Yeah.
bunt cakes. Who's ever thought, you need to move for a bunt cake? It was McDonald's, right?
McDonald's is all about getting your food quickly and then sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
And the food is cheap. They have a good thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going out of business though.
Yeah. I
Couldn't
think
change.
faster and faster.
They should. I thought of a way we could save McDonald's. You know how everyone always goes, "Oh yeah, McDonald's is so gross. I hate McDonald's." The breakfast is good though. Everyone likes the breakfast.
Everyone does say that.
Expand the breakfast.
Aren't they doing that?
They have it at midnight, but they really need to get McDonald's is like a coffee shop in a lot of neighborhoods. It's a place you just go to hang out.
Right.
They need to just make it more like a diner
Yeah.
with quick food, which they can do because they already have all the microwaves. Now they're trying to. I went to a McDonald's in downtown that had like an experimental, like Five Guys type menu,
What?
and it took 10 minutes.
Shut up.
Like, why would you want that?
It was all different? Different stuff?
Yeah, jalapenos and mushrooms and bacon, just regular
What?
toppings.
And you order it did it taste different?
Yeah, but
Not really.
McDonald's tastes fine. Honestly.
McDonald's tastes great.
Yeah. It was totally I just got it because it was different.
It was at McDonald's? That is blowing my mind. Do you like when they have the ones that have the TV inside and like there's like trivia? That I find to be great. I could watch that all day.
I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. How I want to do a project, like a TV show or a movie or something, that premieres and only airs like at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because McDonald's, Denny's, the gas station, they have their own TV channels where they show like The
Yeah.
Price is Right and
Yeah.
Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon. Like, it's on at McDonald's.
Totally.
I watch a lot of TV there. That's a
Yeah.
place I know I can go watch TV for a little bit. And then also just like a Chinese restaurant will just have a TV on
Right.
in it. So a lot of restaurants have TVs in them already. What if you could place something just like you'd have to like go eat at this restaurant?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to figure out what restaurant would be the best. To
And-
sit down and you just like a pizza place maybe?
Yeah.
You sit down at a pizza place and you just watch.
You have to make sure the game's not on.
Yeah, that's true. It could be preempted.
Because, yeah, it might be like a battle. Like, hey, this
Yeah.
person rented the space and wants to premiere like their art thing. So we're like,
They just
"The
air
game's
continuously
on, the game's on.
during the day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. People could come in like an installation.
Mm-hmm. You say eat the pizza. It's like on.
Yeah.
You can just come in at different times.
One time we played at a bar in Boston, and we were playing at the bar, and I was just hanging out, killing time before the show. I was sitting at the bar drinking a beer, and they were showing America's Funny Some videos, and I was just like, I was so happy. Like, it was such a nice moment of tour for me. I was seated at a great bar in Boston. Drinks were, I had a tab, like, didn't have to worry about it. Just drinking beers, watching America's Funny Some videos. And some guy asked them to change it to put on the game. And I thought about like just being like, you know, pulling a total rock star move and being like, hey, like I'm not playing this show unless you put America's Funniest Home Videos back on. You know, because that, like, you can go to any bar and watch sports. You can, like, you know, that dude gets what he wants all over the world. Everybody agrees sports are good. But it's like, you know, tonight's my night, and I want to watch the America's Funniest Home Videos. I think that's a much better program. And I didn't. I just sulked about it. But I wish I would have.
But the game, you could have had money riding on it. Or...
Yeah, but it was, you know, it was my night.
Yeah,
I sold out that bar. That show was sold
But
out.
you've had years and years to watch America's Funniest Home Videos.
I wouldn't have been able to enjoy it. You know, the guy probably would have beat me up, and
Yeah.
like it probably, you know, I wouldn't have been able to like, you know, create conflict at the bar, and then they kind of, you know, there's this tension. Like, are you happy you got to watch your stupid show? You know, sitting there.
Yeah, you definitely can't do it, but that's a toss-up. I don't
Yeah.
know. You definitely could have, but it's not.
Just it's so sports guy to not be like, is anybody watching this? Like, be considerate. Like would anyone mind if I changed it? Just be like, put the game on, get this rubbish out of here. You know, like put the game on, like put some real stuff on TV. I happen to think America's Funniest Home Videos is really funny. Really
People getting hurt.
and you know, like there's some heartwarming kind of stuff on there sometimes too. You know,
Like cute kids.
yeah, cute kids and stuff.
Where
Where are we now?
Yeah, I was just
Or, yeah.
about to ask that. Okay. We're right here on the street. This is like when they do, what's that called? Like a parklet, where they take some parking spaces, like paint them green, and it looks like that. I'm not a fan of that.
The parklet where you eat in the middle of the street.
Don't like it.
I won't, you know, I wonder how often someone is just like on their phone and just looks up and they're just driving like through a parklet, you know?
Well, they're in parking spaces. They're off to the side.
Right, but you know, someone makes a right turn and they're in the far right lane or whatever. It's not.
Sure.
It's not.
It's gonna happen eventually.
Or just like a car accident where someone, you know, jerks the wheel and goes into a parklet.
Why would you want to eat out in the middle of the street?
Maybe a sense of danger. Maybe you sense that. You're like right where the action is.
Oh, okay. I just think the atmosphere. On the
I've
middle of the
never
street.
been crossing the street and been like, I'd love to eat right here.
Yeah, parking. There's just parking spots there. That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it look that much nicer. It's like 30 feet
Yeah.
and it's paint. But yeah, this is okay.
Oh, we're in the parklet. I see now. But
No, I
it's like
think
by the
it's just a-
freeway.
I think this is just a sidewalk where they
smoke-
have a wall.
A smoking area. It's like in Germany or something.
I like that. This design though, the wall,
Yeah.
the waist high wall.
Well, you know why that's there. So in case there's an accident, it's not going to
you're
veer
right.
into the tables. But in some of these parklets, there's nothing like that. It's just, you know,
It's a dangerous trend.
it's a dangerous trend, which I think is kind of cool. They're not enough We're getting rid of all the dangerous trends. Can't smoke a cigarette anywhere anymore. Can't do any of the dangerous trends. What are the other dangerous trends? Cloves are gone. Just stupid stuff like that, I guess.
These trends that are going away, stuff you used to be able to do.
Yeah. Like, do they still sell computer cleaner and stuff? Kids are huffing that. They still sell that? I wouldn't be surprised if that was
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
I think you could probably still huff stuff. That's so lame. That's about the lamest thing you can do to get high.
Yeah.
Some vices make you look cool. That's never.
That one, just the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like, it just destroys so many of your brain cells, and it's like not a stellar high. You know, you're not gonna like have any like breakthroughs. You know, it's not gonna like you're not gonna make pet sounds after like huffing a can of computer cleaner. Yeah, it's really it's you know desperate. It's a desperate high.
My favorite episode of Seventh Heaven is the one where Simon is huffing spray paint.
Oh, nice.
Remember seeing that as a kid and being like, "Do people do this? What is that stupid?"
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this because I don't look like a dork.
Right.
Okay, you're this is really helping.
You like that show, Seventh Heaven? Great.
One of my biggest guilty pleasure shows.
You know, it doesn't have to be guilty. I guess,
Camden's.
yeah, maybe, yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it has little details in it though that I like. Like they're
Yeah.
like they live in Northern California.
What part?
It's called like Hill
Fictional?
Valley. So, yeah, some
Okay, yeah.
just town like that. He's a pastor. Oh, he's also a pedophile.
IRL?
The actor. Yeah,
Oh,
in real life.
wow. Shouldn't say IRL. That's not a good look. So sorry about that.
Yeah, he hurt some people.
Yeah.
You could say it all out. It's the
IRL.
same amount of syllables too.
Yeah, in real life. Just as bad. It sounds better. You sound more professional.
Maybe more people say IRL, it'll become like a word like Earl or like Errol, or like it'll become a new word.
Yeah, like ASAP.
Yeah, exactly. It'll become a new word, and then that's good to be a positive for language.
Yeah. Do you think people rolled their eyes when people first started saying ASAP? ASAP?
Mhm.
People were like, oh, come on, this joker. ASAP. Like, wow.
That one's still on the fence though.
How do you mean?
I think that people ASAP, they're like, oh, it's an acronym still. ASAP hasn't totally moved
Right.
over to its own word, but like ginormous.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when that wasn't a word.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one too. Sorry, I can't remember. I'm trying to think of it. There's one like ginormous that's really. I don't know, anyway.
It's not. I don't.
There's no need for it. It's so redundant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gigantic is a bit of an exaggeration. And enormous. See, you have to be careful not to overuse words because then they lose their meaning.
Absolutely.
You gotta just know how to pick the right words.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's not powerful at all.
Do you have a trick for that? Like when you're writing or something, it's just depicting.
All my
like,
writing is trial and error. I don't really know what I'm doing. I know if something's good or bad, which is a gift to just
Mhm.
like be able to know if what you have is not good or then not good. But I
But you don't
never,
do you edit or anything?
Oh, so much.
Oh, okay.
It's nonstop editing. I go from like this much down to this much. Because I just like go through and like I like this, I don't like that, and I can kind of tell you why after the fact, but I don't I don't know enough about writing to really tell you how to make your words more powerful.
Because there's stuff like using a hard sound like a k or a b or p like that. It's like in joke writing is better
Yeah.
because it's like a little like it cuts off the flow of words, and then putting words that sound alike in alliteration, that's funnier because in normal speech words that sound alike or start with the same letter don't normally come together.
Yeah.
So it's like an extra little thing.
There's definitely stuff like that when I'm writing where it's just like I just don't like these two words next to each other, and I necessarily couldn't tell you why. I could probably tell you why later, but like while I'm doing it, I'm just kind of like moving it around, and then once I get the Rubik's Cube right, it's like yes, that's cool, that's good, I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
A lot can be. Editing is a really good thing to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you have your first initial like sort of like creativity where it's like there's the natural part of it, but then beyond whatever talent you have in you, you might have a finite amount of talent in you,
Yeah.
but the editing or like stuff you always make that better.
Right.
Taking like you took singing lessons, right?
Yeah.
Recently or was it like before?
A year ago.
Yeah. And so that probably made you better at singing, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing. Like that's a good skill to learn. I feel like more people, if they did that, could make it like into the professional realm of what they were
Definitely,
doing.
yeah.
It's just like taking.
And just get more ideas going around. Like, ask people for input and stuff, and then where's the more ideas you have going? The thing that gets tricky about editing is, well, sometimes it's hard to know when you've just edited too much, when you've worked on something too long, when you're too zoomed in, and you're just like, you don't know what's what anymore.
Well, then you're
but-
supposed to go to sleep.
You're supposed to go to sleep. Yeah, and also, if you had something good, you wouldn't still be editing. So that's kind of when it's time to put it in the trash. You maybe dig it out later. Like if you had something good, you wouldn't still be editing it. And so once you drive yourself crazy editing, then just like, all right, there's nothing here. I've dug through the same trash can for 12 hours now. It's time to go to bed.
But when it hits, that's magic.
Yeah.
I remember when we were on that Toys That Kill. Man, those guys were cool.
Very cool guys.
I was just like, I asked Todd one night, I was like, hey Todd, like, you ever like have like songs like stuck in your head the next day after like the concert, because you hear them every night? And he's like, oh yeah, all the time. I was like, what's up with that? And he's like, that's magic. I was like, wow, he's right. That is magic.
Definitely.
With the idea is like stick in your head and bounce around and
That guy doesn't edit at all. He just writes them and writes them and writes them. That guy's got a million songs.
that's another approach.
I know.
Being prolific.
He's like that. He's got so many songs. No, they're not all good. They're really not.
How
But
could they be?
Yeah, but there are some great ones. Yeah, and none of them seem labored over. It's like a different qualities where it's like the really good ones he does have are just like, wow, you couldn't have taken a larger thing and edited down to that. You know, that had to have come out like naturally or whatever.
That's good too, though. It's a balance.
Mm-hmm.
It's magic.
A lot of different
though.
approaches. He's magic.
Getting it though.
Yeah.
Magic.
Right.
Movies, like that's magic.
Yeah. Plays.
Yeah, sometimes. I want to see more plays.
That was hilarious.
Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah. I went to Shakespeare in the Park once, and it was a great time. I didn't really care for the play.
Yeah, what
Plays are
was
kind of
it?
like sports. I don't. How could anybody like this?
The Shakespeare. No, they're supposed to be good. What was it? Hamlet? I've seen Hamlet before. Maybe it was a Midsummer Night's Dream. I have no idea.
It was so bad. We shouldn't have brought Matt because he was just cracking us up the whole time.
Yeah, the part where all the actors were like walking out, like saying the one line. He's like, "Wow, what if the whole play was like this?" Well, here tonight at the bar.
Remember that one guy was like, he kind of like broke. Like,
Oh,
he
God.
he like took somebody's iPhone and he was like, "What art like doth creation?"
Somebody needed to just come, add their own little take on Shakespeare that brought it out of the historical.
Yeah.
That was at least memorable, though.
Yeah, definitely. He was a joker.
They should do better plays in the park than Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they can't get money to do like a regular play though. Shakespeare, since it's so old school, the city will just give them money.
Okay. My coworker was telling me that her younger sister goes to a high school for the arts, and like their theater department did a play of The Wedding Singer, and I would have gone to see that. I would have gone to see like the gifted and talented school do a play of The Wedding Singer. How fun would that have been?
That would have been good. There would have been some overacting. Problem with the school play is all the kids are the same age, so you can't have the range of ages that a real play would have.
When was the last time you went to school play? They are really funny. There's always somebody, because the skill levels are just like crazy. Like some people kind of have it, and there's always one person who just doesn't, and they're so bad at acting that it's just like great. It's fantastic. It's really fun. I think it's a big night for everybody. You know, like the snacks, like the concessions are totally cheap. You know, it's like you get like a bag of like a Ziploc bag of oatmeal cookies for like $1.
Yeah, orange drink.
Yeah, awesome.
There is an electricity.
Oh yeah, it's a
Out of
big
school
night.
play. Yeah.
It's a big night.
Ooh, I wish I could.
It's not just another day in the grind. It's not like this touring going to see something on Broadway. It's like these kids. The culmination of
getting
this
out of
whole
class.
semester. They're getting out of class and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, I can't think of any scenario where I could go to a school play.
You can't just go.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it might be suspect.
Why have to get somebody to go with me?
Yeah, I'll go with you. I think it's the two of us. It's not that bad,
Who are these two guys?
Maybe we're just like a couple
Yeah.
who like the theater.
Yeah, they think we were like a gay couple. That'd be nice. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No harm to anybody.
Okay. Well, if you see keep your ears open for a school play.
Especially something like The Wedding Singer, or if somebody did what would be another one? Tommy Boy. Just like something that's now.
A play of Tommy Boy?
Sure.
That's not a real thing.
But it's just they did something that's like I feel like it's just something that maybe kids could tackle better. But maybe yeah. But do kids even like this? These kids even like these movies, or is it just some stoned
Wedding Singer was probably a real play that went on Broadway and failed.
Oh,
That's what all of these are. They didn't write it themselves.
You think so?
Well, yeah.
I thought it was an adaptation of the movie.
I don't think a kid could adapt a play. Adapt. can't adapt that word.
So? Yeah, but no, but maybe the teacher did, and then the kids acted out. Why do you think the kids adapted it?
Why would the teacher do it?
Because that's their job, is to teach this
No,
course.
the teacher's job is to just sit there and babysit the kids.
Yeah. Okay,
And
do whatever you want.
be sensitive to the gay kids who are in theater and haven't come out yet.
This is like their only place
yeah.
of refuge. Just to make sure they have an okay time.
At my high school, the drama kids were the most popular kids in school.
Wow.
It was a really different from what I had seen on television in the movies about high school. There were bullies and they beat up nerds. It was not my experience at all.
Yeah.
The drama kids. That's Hollywood, though.
That's Hollywood.
It's like when you grow up in LA.
It's like those kids are like, I don't know. That's cool, yeah. It's nice. People liked their pizzazz. They were respected for their amount of pizzazz.
Yeah,
I hung out with the drama kids. I love the drama kids. They were hardly the, rulers of the schoolyard by any means.
The kids who were drama kids and were in AP classes and got straight A's were like
Royalty.
Oh yeah,
Top.
it was very bizarre.
That is bizarre.
They didn't care about sports at my school at all. They're kind of like two schools because then I didn't have I had like some black kids, Hispanic kids who were in my classes and stuff, but there was not a lot of mixing of the races in school.
Yeah.
That's why it's good when you do it in the class.
Yeah.
Those gifted programs, those are a bunch of bull crap.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just separating the kids whose parents, but then the smarter kids get to do better stuff. Except I didn't do anything worthwhile.
You were in those
school.
classes?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so
and sometimes I wasn't.
Yeah.
I tell you, the best deal to get was honors classes.
Yeah.
The one right in the middle.
I took one honors class.
Because you get people from down and up. They all come to the middle, and it's not as hard as the hardest class.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I
Is
want
it worth college credit? No. The AP ones are.
Yeah, but a class in college is so much better than a class in high school.
Right.
It's being taught by like a professor who like has a doctorate in this.
Yeah.
Not somebody who is a high school teacher who's like teaching it because like they need to fill the schedule.
Did you ever want to be a teacher?
Well, when you're a kid, you think about it because that's like your only reference point for adults because you're just like the only adult you're around for so much of the day.
All kids want to be a teacher.
I've thought about, I feel about being a teacher the same way I feel about when I watch The Real World, where I'll watch and be like, oh, that's weird. What would I do in this situation?
Right.
And then I'm like, I'd never be in this situation. I would never be on this show. I'm too old now anyway. Like, why am I even thinking about it? And with teacher, I think like, well, if I was a teacher, I'd just do this in class. And then I'm like, well, I'm not
going to be a teacher.
I'm not going to be a teacher. It's not even worth thinking about.
Yeah, I used to want to be a teacher.
It's
I think
not that
a lot
hard.
of people do. Because that's your only reference point. You don't like go to GE every day. You know what I mean? Or like Raytheon.
Granger.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
So you don't. Yeah, but you wanted to be a teacher?
I think you're right. It's just it was my only reference point. It was like, when I'm an adult, like my teacher, perhaps I'll be a teacher.
What would you teach?
English.
Read some books.
Yeah.
Some plays.
Some plays. Wedding Singer. It was the only one that I was good at. Which is weird because like it's not that different than history, is it?
English and history?
Yeah, it's not that different.
No, not really.
You read about people, things,
stuff that happened.
It's fiction, but I did kind of feel like I did not really like history. There's a lot of memorizing dates.
It is different.
It's just emotional.
It's not interpretive.
It's not interpretive.
A good history class would be, but you never get that.
No.
Like in college, you get a class kind of more like that,
okay,
where it's like a certain type of history or
right
methods of like a class like that. In high
Gold
school,
Rush though, or
the
Gold
missions.
Can you imagine something more boring? The missions. Half the year it seemed like the missions.
There's a reason they didn't stick around.
American history.
There's a reason they did not stick around in early California. Also, for all the time we spent on the missions, did you know that in like the 20s there was like this revival of the missions to like rebuild them, and some of them are just totally reconstructed in different spots and stuff?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I thought that they had always been a big deal.
Yeah.
but really it's just kind of like mission propaganda. School. Well, we are just about out of time. Barry, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
You're not going on tour anytime soon, huh? You're going to be home all summer?
Hanging out in Long Beach.
Great. I'll see you in Long Beach. I'll see you at Dawn the Beachcomber tonight.
Yeah.
And everyone, until next time, this is Adam Papagan. It's reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.